Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is John again with Flippin' Ain't Easy. And another Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great sales weekend. Mine were pretty darn good as compared to previous weeks, but yet I'm a little kind of disappointed, and I'll tell you about that here in a little bit. Before we get started, wanted to kind of just set a little groundwork here. For those of you who are watching the video, like we always ask, please participate, put your questions, your comments, answer other people's questions if you like in the live chat. And certainly, if you participate, it helps me get through this process of this channel and this live stream, that is much easier than just having to ad lib it. I try to make these live streams go at least an hour or around an hour. Sometimes we go further than that. And, I just think it's great stuff to listen to while you're working, shipping, doing that kind of stuff as well. And even if, by chance you're watching this live and you never really go in and participate, just go on and type in hi or something. Just participate. It does help the algorithm get the live stream out to more people and that type of thing. So I appreciate that. If you're watching this after the fact, you can still participate. Comment down below and type in your question if you have one, or if you saw something on the video that you had something you wanted to say about it, please put that in the comments as well, because I will try to at least see what you have to say or answer your question. Do me a favor, regardless of how you guys are watching this, whether it's now or later, hit that like button. That's all I ask. It's been a very, very busy day for me, and I kind of planned everything around this, and I am beat, guys. I am just totally beat. It just out in this heat it just zaps you, and with all the stuff that I had to ship, and like I caught myself like 2 or 3 times out of breath today, and it's like, man, I'm getting old, but come on. So yeah, it's been pretty busy. So hit that like button, guys. I certainly appreciate that. And of course, if you enjoy the content, want to be, a part of this, we do these live streams like at least once a week, sometimes twice. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys can be a part of it. So we have Sean Krisky in the house, Kevin Hawthorne, Jane Hogue, Ed, the reselling writer, Tommy Bernard podcast is in the house. We got Biscuit Butt Archie, One Man Show, No One Designed To, Trina's Fetal Alcohol Baby. That I got to know where that came from, what that name came from. Bling Bling Factor Australia, Semperfi, Yworka. Let's see, Ozero B Morales. Not sure if it's vintage. Eileen B Biff Boffo Sawoop, and Deportes in El Recuerdo. And I'll give a shout out to Water Baby as well. So I'm sure there's many more of you guys, and I already see that you guys are starting to really participate in the live. So thank you very much for that. This weekend was pretty, I would say, interesting, and I think I learned something. I'm always trying to learn, and I'm always trying to pass that information on to you guys. And it's just a hypothesis that I developed because there's no real good rhyme or reason. I see comments still, like I just answered a comment that a viewer left like 10 minutes ago while I was waiting to come on the live stream, saying that, sales are even worse than they've ever been. eBay's taking more and more, and they're losing motivation to sell. And I mean, I didn't see that this weekend. I saw really, it was crazy. And I want to share that with you, not only on the eBay front, but also on the Mercari front. And I'm really fired. I got to say, I mean, it's not so much also the sales that have me excited right now. I'm really fired up, but it's getting up this morning and finding merchandise that nobody's buying. People were buying a month ago. It was hard to actually win some of these lots because people were outbidding you. And, you make your money when you buy. You don't make it when you sell, because, if you buy low enough, even if you sell it at a bad price, you're still going to make some change and to cover what you spent and make a little bit of money. And then you learn as you go, oh man, I could have priced that better. But money is made when you buy. and I bought about $1,300. I spent about, well, I haven't really, I have to go and pay later. But I won $1,300 in bids, 4 different lots. And I'd have to say the merchandise is somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000. And that's MSRP. It means nothing in reselling. It gives you a gauge to kind of get an idea of what to kind of expect. In my mind, in the resale world, usually MSRP, you just chop it in half. If you have a good item, maybe 30% of that. If you have some kind of a suspect item, used condition type of thing. But that's fine with me. I'm in so low. I'm in for under 10%, which is awesome. It's like more like 5%. And seeing some good stuff. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to get it. I'm excited to get this move over with. You guys know I'm moving. That's throwing a big wrench into things. Downsizing as a result of it. And that's a challenge that I'm not all that looking forward to, but I just want to get it done out of the way because I'm really excited about Q4 and just getting more merchandise at a really cheap cost is really getting me excited. And the sales are secondary. We're talking, let's see, I had in sales this weekend, I had, I think, $450 on Friday, $500.25 on Saturday, and almost $600 yesterday. And today's at 439. And so that hasn't been the norm. It's been about 2 to 250. So what's changed? And I started looking at what have I done differently? Because if you look at the chart, it's just not even night. It's like not even comparable. It's like night and day. I even had 2 weeks ago a Saturday that got me $16, and I can't say that we're out of the summer slowdown. I still think we're dealing with that because of some of the messages that I'm getting from people, and it kind of clicked. The only thing that's changed is I've run auctions this weekend. Now, I would say, and I went back and looked, out of the $597 I made yesterday in sales, only about $200 of that, and that's with the shipping included, only about $200 of that is from auctions. That's why I was disappointed, because I had a lot of items on auction at dirt cheap prices, and people still didn't buy them. And I'll talk to you about that here in a second. So I had about $400 in sales that were organic, that in the sense of they weren't driven by auctions. You know, if you throw a bunch of auctions out there and liquidate things, of course you're going to make money. But I'm looking at stuff that's been sitting in my store that sold over the weekend, you know, as I'm packing it up, and I'm going, wow, this has been here for a while. So I'm trying to figure out why now. Why are these people buying this stuff? And then it clicked, auctions. Now, have you guys heard of, and this is just a hypothesis, but I really am starting to think there's something to it, because I'm getting good sales today. I happen to have one item that I screwed up. I was going to make a 5-day auction on Tuesday when I listed it, and I guess it went to a 7-day auction. So that's going to end tomorrow. I'm getting sales. And my hypothesis is, if you incorporate auctions, maybe one or two, have them running at all times, at least 1 or 2 auctions, I think it gives your other items a boost. Now that's just a stupid guess on my part. There's no validity to it other than what I'm seeing. There's no reason for me right now to have like $1,600 in sales the last 4 days. There's no reason. It just makes no sense to me. And I'm wondering if auctions aren't dead. I'm wondering if there's a purpose for it. You know, you guys ever go to Costco and they have those hot dogs? You go to maybe Sam's Club, they have those cheap rotisserie chickens. They make no money off those. They lose money on those. Every time you buy one, it's like they didn't make no money. And you ask yourself, well, why did you even sell it that low? And the reason is it's called a loss leader. It gets you in there. You're like, oh, those hot dogs are great. Or the chicken rotisserie chickens are like super cheap. We can pick one up for dinner tonight. But guess what's going to happen? While you're there at Walmart, but Sam's Club or Costco, you're going to pick up all kinds of stuff. There's been times like I went today. I went to take back a little fan for my garage, a little mist blowing fan in my garage, because it wasn't what I thought it was. and I ended up spending like $60 because I had to pick stuff up while I was there. So it's just a way to get you in the door. Now, I'm suggesting that if all else is failing for you, find an item that just sucks. That's just sitting in your store. You could care less if you make nothing off of it. Maybe just post it at your cost. Run a 5 to 7 day auction. Maybe run a few of those and keep doing your everyday listing, your everyday routine. And I want to know if anybody tries that, if that works. And we got someone who paid for an item. So awesome. So I'm going to keep doing that. I noticed that on my other account, when I was running almost exclusive auctions, anything that didn't sell on auction, I would then not relist it. Actually, I think I did. I relisted it at a lower rate, a lower price. If that didn't sell, I would just put it at, $8, $10. I was into it for 25 cents a piece. And I put it in my store as just a general listing store, no promotion, but I kept running auctions because I don't know the value of these patches and pins that I have, these military things. And when you know it, the things that weren't selling on auction were selling at a fixed price listing at the same price I was listing the item on auction for to start. And I didn't think anything of it. But now that I'm really kind of thinking back, because I haven't posted a lot of auctions, I still have a lot of live listings on that account. I'm not selling a whole lot on that account. And I think it has to do with the fact that I haven't really been posting auctions. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy here. Maybe it's just coincidence. But I think that auctions may drive some traffic, maybe inadvertently, maybe through the algorithm to your listing. So worth giving a shot. I'd like to think that, it may be a hidden hack. I don't know. And maybe I should have kept my mouth shut and kept it to myself, but that's not what this channel is about. I like sharing this information with you guys. Maybe it won't work. Maybe you guys will try listing a few auctions this week and still have crickets. But as resellers, we have to be willing to try new things. And, that's why I'm kind of fired up about Mercari. I have literally about 30 some odd transactions in the last 3 weeks now, a month, 15 outstanding where the item is still waiting for the buyer to receive it. And I think we're sitting on like 450 in funds that I can cash out right now, and probably around 600 once all those other items are received by the buyer. When the funds are released, that's how Mercari works. And I mean, it's $600 or $700 that would be still sitting on my shelf that I'm sure, and I have an idea about that. I'm going to make a video about why that is. And I could talk about that on this video if you guys are interested. Put the comments in the live chat if you guys want to know more about my thoughts on that. But yeah, I'm really fired up. And a month ago, I was really down and just feeling like, wow, I mean, is this something? I made some videos that were really doom and gloom, but ultimately it's the effort, it's the items you put up for sale, it's the prices, it's everything. This is a combination of all these things that we talk about. And I just hope that you guys are, willing to try things that might seem wacky, maybe things that don't even seem like it's going to work, and just to see what works for you. Because that's what it all boils down to. It doesn't matter who sits here in front of you on YouTube, what channel you watch, and who's telling you, well, I got all these great things happening to me. If you don't step out your comfort zone and try new things to learn for yourself, I don't even know why you're watching these videos. So want to get to some of your comments and questions here. So let's see what we have. Sean Krisky says, my eBay sales are going good. Buy low, sell high, invest in bulk item lots to resell each item separately. As soon as you pay off what you spend on your bulk item lot, the rest is 100% profit every day. Yeah, and I'm looking at, if I'm in for 5%, guys, and these are manifested lots that I had a chance to see. The first 3 or 4 items are paying for the whole thing. We're talking about 150 to 200 item lots. These are Amazon returns. You get a little of everything, but especially when it's manifested, you can see. Now you can't see the condition. You could get something that's just not, something that's just not what you thought it was. But even then, my ratio of success as far as good to bad items on these lots is about 75% to 25% bad. And that's on a bad lot. I mean, there's some good lots where you rarely get any bad items. And it really depends on the seller that you're going through. I've dealt with this particular seller probably about 40 or 50 lots now. I'm thinking that's maybe even low on the low side. And you learn what type of items and what ratio of good to bad that they usually give, and you tend to stick with them, and you find what works, and you just keep doing it. So I agree with you, Sean, 100% that these lots are. I thought about a week or two ago that it would be hard for me to buy stuff for Q4. Here I am in the middle of a move. I need all the money right now I can get for coming up with about $6,000 worth of expenses here over the next week. And here I am spending extra money that I didn't plan. And it's not like I don't have the money, but at the same time, I'm not rich either. So it's putting a lot of money out there. This is the wrong time of year, but you still, like I told Jenna, I still have to be in business. I can't stop the business. I have to keep spending money. If you're not spending money in your business or flipping the money that you're making, then you might as well just go out of business or just sell the old stock and do something else, because you have to grow. And that's exactly what Sean's talking about here. Got Kevin in the house. Thank you for hanging out with us. You're always here with us, so I appreciate that. Jane Hogue is in the house. Good evening. Ed, thank you for hanging out with us today. I know you missed the last couple, but that's cool. As long as you come and say hi once in a while, I'm really cool with that. So thank you. Flipping ain't easy. Tommy Bernard podcast. Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate you, man, for coming and hanging out with us. We got Archie Biscuit Butt in the house. What's going on, man? One Man Show. Hi, everyone. Let's see. And then Biscuit Butt says, apparently podcasts aren't easy either. They're easy. Well, of course, Tommy has other things going on. Otherwise, I think he'd be doing his own. But, whether these lives are kind of a motivation for me. I look forward to getting on here and talking to you guys. It's, like one or twice, 2 times in the last couple months, Jenna's like, well, why don't you just postpone it or something? Because I was just so busy. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. I would never do that. If I had to go out into a parking lot and just do a live, out in the middle of nowhere, I would if I had to, but rather than postpone it. No One Design says, hey, John and FAA gang, great weekend. Sales are great. School season is rolling on. And I have, speaking of school season, I have like 10 backpacks new at tag, and got them in that lot that I picked up or that was sent to me from wholesale. And they have new tags. They're all CVS. They're marked as anywhere from like $14.99, I think, to $19.99. And they're just basic. There's nothing really special about them. And I have them sitting, and I'm debating either even listing them or not. I know it's school season. I'm just wondering if it would be even worth my time, because a lot of these people are selling them new tags for like $15 to $20 for some of the same ones that I have. And after shipping's, eats at least a half of it, and eBay takes their 20%, it's like, is it worth the effort? So want to know what you guys think about that. I know it's the time of year, backpacks, school supplies, that kind of thing. But even then, the market is pretty saturated. Trina says, hey, John, good to see you again. Nice to see you. I still want to know about that name. I want to know where that came from, because it's just crazy, for lack of a better term. But awesome that you're here. I appreciate that. Bling Factor Australia. I finally made the live first time in ages. Hi, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us. It must be early in the morning, isn't it, for you? Like to know. I guess I could look up what time it is in Australia, but if you're still watching, definitely let me know what time you're watching. That would be kind of cool. Semperfi is up. Thank you for hanging out with us. Worka says, hello, everyone. And we have Ozzy B. Morales says, you have a rich community. Thanks to all, especially you, John. Well, no, thanks to you guys. You guys what make this happen. Again, I'm just the guy who gets in front of the camera and kind of gets you guys going. But again, you guys don't come and hang out with me. I'm just some old dude hanging out by myself, talking in the mirror, and no one wants to see that. So not sure if it's vintage. Hi, John. Hi, chat. Thanks for hanging out with us. Semperfi says, sales are so-so. Made one sale over the weekend, but still constant in listing. Juan says, the grind is real. And Eileen says it's 11 o'clock here in Scotland. I'm tucked in bed listening to you. Well, I hope you're not disturbing anyone else who's trying to sleep, because that wouldn't be good. There's a, you might be interested in reselling, but the people sitting or laying next to you may not care to hear it. But thank you for hanging out with us, and maybe, just maybe, I might put you to sleep with what I have to say. So thanks for hanging out. Biff Buffo, I did an end sale similar on all my items over 30 days old, and it woke up my store. And that's just it. You have to get out of this mold of, I've listed all these items, they're listed, I'm done with them, and okay, I'm gonna focus all my attention on these items. And then we let these items just sit and rot in our store, for lack of a better term, and they want your attention. eBay wants you to pay attention to those things. So yeah. Now, I don't know who Swoop is, but somehow they think I'm their dad. So I have no idea who that is. So if you'd like to identify yourself, I'd certainly appreciate that. Deportes en el recuerdo. I have a solution for pay per click if eBay finally implements it. Everybody in our chat room search on Google for an item, and the first eBay item showing, we all click on it many times over again. So I'm wondering, the pay per click, you talk about the promoted listings advanced, because I think Tommy's onto something. The last time we were talking about it, that there's some slots reserved for, and I think they're reserved more for those folks who are using that advanced version of promoted listings. I don't know so much about the Google search, though. I think that really has to do with a lot of factors. Like, for instance, you can do promoted listings advanced all you want on your item, and if you don't have the requirements for Google search, like the white background, there's some channels out there that will tell you that you're wasting your time. It's absolutely not worth taking that time to get a white background. But if you're trying to exclude Google search, that's a great way to do it. They require that for you to be even considered in their search. When someone doesn't even want to deal with eBay, they're searching for your item, they type it in, you have all the requirements for Google search, including that background, chances are you could pop up there. And I don't think currently it has anything to do with how you promote it. And the reason why I say that is, on my other store, I have external search results in about the 15% range, and I don't promote anything. So I think there's a lot of factors that factor in, and just like an eBay search, it isn't always about the promoted listing rate. Water Baby says, hello, everyone. And we have Nancy in the house. I'm finally here for live. Thanks for hanging out with us. Art says, how's the weather? It is, you know what? It is hot. It's around 100 degrees. It's 95 according to what I show here. But what's been cool lately, the last week and a half, we get these thunderstorms that just pop up out of nowhere, these afternoon thunderstorms. And like today, I'm driving to run my errands, and I get this, like, it's an Amber Alert type thing. And it pops up saying, there's going to be flash flooding, seek shelter. And I haven't felt a drop of rain yet. So I don't know what that's about, but they just pop up out of nowhere. And it's really weird because it'll start raining, right? And we'll be like, oh, it's raining. Everyone will stop doing what they're doing. They'll run outside, out in this stuff. It could be just pouring, and we'll just do one of these, and I don't care if I get drenched. I love it. I love it's just the contrast. It's been so hot here in the summer that I'll take the rain. If it could rain every day, I'd take it. I forget. I know I like to play golf and all that, but I haven't done a lot of that lately, and I don't care. The way it's so hot out here anyway, I'll take the rain. Biscuit Butt says, Tommy needs to do a collab with John soon. Hey, whenever he's ready, definitely. I am been talking with Cincinnati Picker, and we're also maybe looking at having a collab sometime this month. I just can't imagine doing anything the next 2 weeks. It's just going to be so crazy. And just trying to keep my consistency on eBay, consistency with you guys on the channel, putting out new content, that's going to be a challenge in itself. So someone that claims to be my child says this weekend was straight dookie. Wow. Well, it wasn't dookie. And Nancy says I can't complain. It was actually, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it an 8. And now I'll tell you why right now. I had this huge rack in my garage. There's probably about 30 items on it. And the goal for me was, look, I don't want to lug this to my next place. Stuff's been sitting here. Some of it has pretty good value, but at the same time, I don't want to mess with it. So let's just list all of it. $9.99, one bid, first bid, and 5-day auctions. I think I had 7 days on that, ending on Sunday. And let's see what happens. And so we did. And I'd say probably about a third of the items sold. Of those items, we're talking about 12 that sold. Maybe about half of them sold at the minimum. So I'm taking like dirt cheap prices, probably around my cost if I'm looking at it that way, plus the cost of shipping. There's an item that I saw the day before. It had no bids at $9.99. And I know there's comps out there for like 130, 140 bucks on it. And I said to myself, I ain't giving this thing away. And if it was like, had a bid on it, I wouldn't have canceled it, but it had no bids. So I just went and canceled it and listed it at the regular price. I'll take it with me. It'll sell to someone. It's not a fast moving item, but it does have value. I would be picking those up at $10, $20 all day long if I came across them. This is a brand new sealed and packaged item. And no. So the other 2/3 of my items didn't sell. And I'm kind of surprised. There's some things that I thought would sell okay. So auctions, I don't think auctions are a viable way to really make money. Now, if you're trying to blow things out like I was, it could work to an extent. I guess if you're starting them off at 99 cents, you're probably going to get more of those items that sell. But I'm not upset by keeping them, if that makes sense. I mean, I'd go out and buy new stuff anyway. I could get more of the same in some of these lots that I just picked up. So why would I be okay with giving them away? And like I said, I think the sales were good, and like $200, that's including the cost of shipping on some of these items, is all I made on Sunday from the auction. And that kind of sucks because I was really thinking, and I told you guys last live stream, I think on Friday, I think I'm going to have a great weekend here. I had a good weekend, and surprisingly, I thought those sales were going to come by auction. Most of my sales, most of the money I made was going to be on Sunday because of an auction, and it wasn't because of that at all. Now, I think there's a little side effect on my other listings because I did run auctions. Why am I getting looking at the chart right now, it's like almost double what I've been getting on a per day. This is now the fourth day in a row. And there's got to be a reason for it. Maybe it's because you have auctions that are about to end. I don't know. But like tomorrow, I have one auction ending and I still have good sales today. So I would like to see someone maybe try it, prove that theory wrong. But until that fails, I'm going to keep doing it. One Man Show says, question about being a reseller and a YouTuber about reselling. At what point do you think a P.O. box would be ideal for something if you share your store? That way, personal address won't be so exposed. You know what? I think it's a good idea sooner than later. And this fool hasn't done it yet, and I need to do it. There's trolls out there. You usually can catch those trolls. Maybe the first time they watch their video, they'll leave a snide remark and you can block them. It happened to me. I made a video where I know somebody that was watching the channel bought my item, a low cost item, just so they can leave me a negative feedback, keep the item, send me some whatever childish pictures, and to think it's funny. But most people aren't like that. And I need to get out either, with that said, I need to get out and get one anyway, because you just never know. That one person out of a million might be just a crazed lunatic and show up at your door one day. So that is definitely a good idea. Tommy says, always remember, the harder reselling gets, the better it is for us. Not everyone will make it. And not everyone does, because a lot of people think that once they quit their job, they give that boss the middle finger and go home, buy that first lot of stuff they didn't research, but you know what? Hey, it should sell. It looks cool. I think it's cool. And they get it up and they're like, okay, where's the sales at? and they think that all they have to do is list minimal photos, list the price they think it's worth, really quick, incomplete listings, trying to list as fast as they can because they see other channels tell you how it's important to get them up as fast as possible, and that item specifics don't mean anything. And then they kind of wonder, well, I do this twice a week. Why am I not making any sales? And they're totally doing it wrong. And then they just give up. That first lot becomes their last lot, and they move on. You see it all the time. I've seen people that I know, that's kind of what's happened, and it's sad. If they only would have done it right the first time, didn't jump into things, didn't quit their day job, they started off part-time, figured out what they can buy consistently, and it works for them before developing a plan to quit that job, then more people would succeed, I think. If it flips, it ships one. What's up? Thank you for hanging out with us today. Got Yaz in the house. Glad your sales are good. Mine are not. It suddenly stopped last week. Now, I'm not saying these are going to continue. I mean, I'm down to like 640 items now in my store. I was at 700 not too long ago. And that's because I keep deleting items on my eBay store because they sell on Mercari. So I've got a lot of sales on Mercari, a lot of sales on eBay, and it's awesome. It's awesome. And I talk about cross listing all the time. I think there's a large segment of you guys that think I'm just trying to sell Prime Lister, and honestly, I can care less. You want to go do it manually and not pay any service to do it. If you want to go and get the more expensive one and pay them more money for the same tool, and in fact, it may be the same tool or it may have even less features, then certainly go ahead and do it. But you should be cross-listing if you have quite a few items on your site and on your eBay store, because I think there's a certain type of item that just sells better on Mercari. And you know what? I'm not even worried if the item sells on both sites. If the item gets a sale on Mercari, I'm going to be fast to go onto eBay and to delete the item. But if I can't catch it, guess what? eBay wins. And the reason is, if someone buys my item on Mercari, 10 minutes later they buy it on eBay, guess who gets the item? The eBay buyer. And the reason is, and it may not seem right to anyone here, but the reason is, if I cancel an item on Mercari, they don't penalize me. Okay, I've had to do it before. eBay, if I cancel an item, it definitely you take a hit in the search. The algorithm, you get a hit. I don't care what anyone says. It may be just for the first 48 hours, but you think sales are slow now. Try canceling an item that's sold on your account due to being out of stock, and see what eBay does to you. Unless you're selling stuff just dirt cheap, it's going to affect your account. And so I don't worry about little things that a lot of people get caught up on. Definitely. And of course, I tell you guys this all the time, and then I fail to go in and do the things that I should have done before this live stream started. And that is in a minute here or two, or at the end of the video, go down below and click on the link that I'll have here in a minute. Click on the link and it'll give you a 30% off your first month, but you get 2 weeks to try it for free, Prime Lister. And I think it'll give you 100 items to try out, to cross list over to other platforms. It could be Poshmark, Etsy, if you're a collector and you have the collectible genre. You do that kind of thing. You're going to get more sales. That's all I can say. And I can tell you from my own experience, I'm getting a lot of sales through Mercari, and it kind of makes me wonder why I didn't do that earlier. And if you're on the fence, I'm going to make a video about it, because I know sometimes we can sit here and think that, oh, this John, he's just trying to sell stuff. And, honestly, yeah, I do get a small percentage of the money you spend with Prime Lister. It does go to the channel, but it's not a whole lot. I ain't getting rich off it, that's for sure. But anything that I come across that I do, I'm sorry if it looked like I'm distracted, I'm actually adding the link. Anything that I do on this channel that works for me, I am going to share it with you. That's just whether whether I sign up with a sponsor or not, and let's say the sponsor just sucks, well, guess what? I ain't going to berate the sponsor, but I ain't going to say much about it either. I really believe strongly in getting your items out to other eyes, and you're going to benefit in the long run. And again, I'm going to make a video showing you those numbers, showing you those sales, just to prove that. And I also have a hypothesis as to why I think that is happening, where items sell on Mercari that just sit in your store on eBay. Biscuit Butt says, I believe the reselling bubble is finally burst, and lots of sellers are realizing they don't have the patience or want to do this. Just like any other business, you have to grind. It's a grind. It's a grind. There's nothing like meeting up with a buddy at midnight at some place to look at their goods, Archie. And yeah, in the middle of a thunderstorm, and just trying to get a deal. And it's the fun of the chase, trying to get a good deal. And I think that's addicting to some people. But you still got to remember, once you get the stuff, you have to sell it. You just can't let it sit. So that's the key thing. Juan says, what do you consider an item to be vintage, clothing and toys? My understanding of vintage is if it's older than 20 to 30 years. Now, I might be wrong. I can look up the definition, I guess, for you. But if it's older than 20 to 30 years, it's vintage. Now, I've heard some people say it's 50 is for vintage. Think what, antique is 100? I don't know. I don't really get into the collectibles a lot. I mean, I do have some collectibles I talk to you guys about, but I am nowhere near an expert when it comes to vintage stuff. No One Design says 20 years. So that means that like half of my shirts are vintage. No, you guys might think so, because I still wear a lot of the t-shirts that I wore like 2 years ago. And I always thought, when it comes to like the older shirts and stuff, that people think, oh man, you're wearing something that you wore 2 years ago. But I think that's kind of a high school mentality. As you get older, you find stuff you just like to wear. It's comfortable and you stick with it, and who cares, right? So I kind of get off on a tangent, but 20 years sounds about right. Angie Resells is in the house. Hey, John and chat. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's see. Biscuit Butt, like John always says, your profit and success is in your buy. I don't worry about what I'm buying as much as the margin low enough to make money. I don't care how much eBay wants to charge me. And the sad thing is, and I don't have the comment to read you, but before I came on, this viewer said, look, I've been trying to make this work for the last few years, and eBay is just charging more. They want more, making fewer sales, and I'm about done with eBay. And my thought was, well, where are you going to go? I mean, I guess you can go to Mercari. You're going to get sales, but you're not going to get the same level. If you're not getting sales at eBay, I mean, you may have the kind of item that sells at Mercari, so maybe that'll work. But for the most part, eBay is the one site that is going to allow you to list most things. I would say Amazon, because they have like 10 times the traffic as eBay, but they gate most things, meaning that they block you from selling certain brands. So that's not an alternative. So I don't care if eBay wants to play their game. I mean, at some point they're going to make it so that, look, I can't source that low. eBay wants 30%. Now, that's not saying that's what they want right now, but I mean, they keep upping, not the amount, but they keep upping the percentage. So, if we're expecting every year they're going to keep bumping up the percentage, well, that's less and less and less that I can make in my margin. And for some people, it's like, look, I'm already operating at a 20% margin. I ain't doing 10%. So those people are going to leave. And that's why it's so important to find as good of deals as you can, to give yourself 50, 60, 70% margins, maybe even more, depending on what kind of deal you get. Like those patches, that's like, man, like 90% margins. Those kind of things, you can stay in business longer than the other guy, the next guy, regardless what eBay charges you. That's like that should be like one of the last things that you're really concerned about when it comes to either staying or quitting is that extra 1 or 2% that you have to pay to either promote your item better or pay eBay. Now, I bring these issues to you guys because I feel like you guys need to know that. I mean, you need to know when eBay is going to jack up a price or take away your listings off of Google search or things like that. Every seller needs to be informed, and a lot of you just don't have time to research it. I really don't, but because I have a channel, I take my time to do that for you guys and to basically start a conversation. That's kind of why I do it. So I don't worry about it, though. I don't get to the point where, oh man, they're going to charge me another 2 or 3%. I'm up there promoting higher than I ever have right now because I'm trying to play their game. If that means if you're playing Monopoly, if you're that player on Monopoly who is afraid to buy a hotel on Boardwalk because it costs what, $200, then you probably shouldn't be playing because you're going to lose almost every time. All right, Biscuit Butt says, I make purchases knowing that's the cost of business. It is. And the things you have to pay, the fees and all that. So what? eBay wants to fee me. So guess what I get to do? At the end of the year, instead of paying, $10,000 in eBay fees in a year, I'm paying 12. Well, guess what? I get to deduct that from what I earned, and that's less in taxes I'm going to have to pay off of that. So, and I'm not a CPA, but I can tell you that's how it works. I don't really get that bothered by it. It's about what things can I source better to make up for that 2 to 3%. One Busy Mama says, hi there from sunny Florida. So how are you doing? I was in Florida a few years back around this time of year, and you guys get those thunderstorms that pop up like we've been getting, and it gets really humid. It's crazy how it could be a sunny day out in Florida, and all of a sudden, here comes the rain clouds. Dan Merdsta says, that's funny how you bring that up. I decided to put a high markdown sale on cheaper stuff. Then I sold the VCR combo, which hasn't been getting any traffic on it. Yeah, weird, just weird stuff. I mean, I had someone that bought, and these were hopefully they're not watching. Hopefully they're not a viewer. I mean, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them, but these were kind of dog items. I wasn't even going to list them. They're these paper towel holders with like a marble base, and a viewer bought. I had two of them, one black, one white. They bought both of them, and they're international. So they spent like $75 after it was all said and done for each one shipped. And it's like, okay, there's nothing. I mean, you probably can get them where you live. I mean, if you're out and about, I don't care what country, you probably can get something like that. And I'm here selling it to you for $75 a piece. I was trying to sell them locally, to you guys in the US for what, $25 plus like $10 shipping. So things will sell. I just don't know what causes an item to just sit there, no views, and then all of a sudden, boom, it sells. And this is a repeat buyer. So that's what it said. So I usually don't get a lot of repeat buyers on the store, and it's just awesome. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it, but I just wonder about it. I'm trying to understand and figure out how is that? How does that happen? So just, keep listing. I had a couple items, a VCR combo. I had a VCR combo. I had 3 DVD disc changer player, Samsung. Those didn't even sell on the auction. I had them for $9.99. Someone could have swooped in there and grabbed it dirt cheap plus shipping. Didn't even sell. So go figure. Water Baby says, last month Sam's Club had a promoted membership. It's Costco gal, but Sam's Club hot dog deal offers more condiments. Love sauerkraut, and Costco stopped offering it. Yeah, they're losing money. I was just there, and I had to grab a froyo, frozen yogurt. Had to do that. It was just too hot, and I was like, oh, that sounds so good. So I wish I had a Costco closer to me. I'd go there all the time. Let's see. Not sure if it's vintage. Says, I'm setting up a multiple quantity listing for Costco hot dog. Would you recommend I bundle it with ketchup packets? No mustard. Most people, I think ketchup on a hot dog is like pineapple on a pizza. It should never happen. And that's just my thought on that. It's not right. It's just not right. James Helm says, I started on eBay about 4 months ago. This past weekend, I was finally able to print out my first multi-item pick list. I think I'll frame it. Yeah, I don't print those out for the carriers. I refuse to. I just, because I don't always ship all my items on eBay labels. I sometimes go over to pirate ship depending on the situation. Tommy says that he does not think there is any correlation with auctions and additional sales. I don't think sales make more sales. Lots of overthinking with eBay. Listing creates traffic and relist as well. But you're doing the same thing I am right now. You're thinking. I mean, I have no proof, none. Your statement has no proof in it, none. But I got this. I got sales that I was never expecting on Saturday. I had no items ending on Saturday on an auction. And out of the, what, $1,600 that I made in the last 4 days, including today, about a little less than $200 was from the auctions. So where did that come from? Again, I don't give out my store name unless people ask. And even then I'm kind of hesitant to. There's some channels that say, hey, they put it in their description of their videos and they say, hey, come support the channel and buy something from me. And I certainly don't ever do that. In fact, I don't really want it's like, to me, it's not organic traffic. I want to keep my traffic organic on my site. So I'm trying to figure out where these sales are coming from. To me, it could be, like you're saying, could be just a total coincidence. But when I see something that looks like more of a coincidence, I'm going to try it again. So that's the thing. I'm going to try it again. If nobody else wants to try it, that's fine. But I'm going to try it again. And how are we going to explain when it happens again? I mean, are we saying the economy's picking up and at the same time other people are complaining that, hey, I'm just not getting any sales? I don't know. You might be 100% correct, but at the same time, I might be onto something here. And I guess we'll see. But I would not be doing you guys a service or any justice at all if I just kept, oh, look what I found. I got a little hack here. I'm gonna keep it to myself. I don't think I'd like that. So, I mean, Tommy, you're killing it right now. Your sales are doing great. Every time you come onto this program, you're telling us that the sales are great. You're promoting the heck out of your shoes. And right now, going into September, well, we just entered August, but going into September, you should be really killing it here pretty soon with kids going back to school. And I don't know. I just think maybe sometimes it could be that it's the type of item you're selling. Maybe, your items that you're selling, you source well, you have good prices, you play the game properly, you're niched out so you can focus on those things. You know what to look for within that niche, know what to stay away from. Whereas someone like myself, I'm all over the place selling stuff. And I sold a pair of shoes. Actually, I think I sold like 3 pairs of shoes last week. Pair of Nike Huarache. Is that right? Nike Huaraches. Cool looking pair of shoes. We actually had in our closet with the tags on for like 3 years. And it was one of those Marshalls pickups that we picked up for $20. I listed it for $79.99, got a best offer for I think $70, and hey, shipped it out, so all's good. Jane says, so far I've only listed items from the pallet I bought. When you say store, are you referring to your listings or a store or something more? I'm referring to the whole bundle of listings that I have up for sale on eBay. Now I have a store, and if you have, I think, more than 100 items in your collection of items for sale, right, which we call a store, you should be considering going the route of actually having a store. I know you're paying more money to eBay every month, and if you get the better deal, you're locked in for a year. But there's something about having that coupon. There's something about having the markdown sale ability. And eBay gives a little bit of it back by giving you that quarterly coupon, that $25 coupon that you can apply towards eBay supplies. So it just works. So when I say store, I mean everything I have listed all at once. So and so for you, even if you don't have a store, you can think your collection of items that you have for sale really consist of your store. Christina says, I just started to use the refund tool, 50% deduction and was made. I got a positive feedback and change, go figure. So you deducted 50% from a refund on a return due to whatever reason, missing parts, maybe different condition, and they still left you a positive. Wow, that's awesome. The cool thing is, most cases, you are going to get a negative dealt with, taken off. And I've even actually contacted a rep where they told me, no, the customer has a right to leave whatever message they want. This is after deducting 50%. And they can leave whatever negative feedback they want. And we're going to honor that because the customer has a right to their opinion. And as much as I didn't like the answer, I left my reply and moved on. 3 days later, the system automatically removed it because I gave them a refund. So if there's an automated process as well as that, but the fact that you got a positive, awesome. Thrift Gorilla, yes, I made it to another live show. Afternoon all. How's it going, John? Everything's good here. Just a very busy day. I woke up. I don't know if you guys watch or take a look at my Instagram. If not, go and check out I think I have it in the link below. If not, it should be like at the end of the video. There'll be a reference to my Instagram. It should be flippin_ain't_easy_2020, I believe. And I'm trying to grow that account a little bit. And I posted like 2 or 3 pictures of everything that I had to ship. And I started Saturday, got all my Mercari orders shipped. Sunday, I woke up, all day I was just listing and a little YouTube. It's like kind of a day off kind of thing. But I had YouTube videos playing. I'm over here just not listing, but shipping, get my shipping done. And it was just a mound of stuff that had to go out. So, it's pretty sick. I went and dropped everything off. I probably get a knock on my door here pretty soon because the mailman, it's a replacement mailman. I get one different mailman like every day. And I didn't want to be in a position where here at 4:30, I have to drive 5 miles to my post office before 5 o'clock with a huge, and I call them the Santa bags, that big bag behind me right there, or the one that's here on the ground. I've got a bunch of them. It's just my mess right now. I had that and a tote full of USPS packages. I had a mound of UPS ground packages that barely fit in the back of my SUV. Once I got them all said and done, my car was loaded. I went to UPS store, dropped all those off, then went to the post office, dropped all that off. I had to go to the bank, deposit a check that was too big to put in. You can do it through your phone. No, they wouldn't take it. I had to go to the bank, go there, stand in line, do that. I had to go to Costco, mess with that. I got back, and there's some dude that was parked outside of my house with his AAA truck, and I thought he was repoing the car, my next door neighbor's car. And I'm like, well, how long are you going to take? You're in my spot in the driveway. And about 5 minutes. So I had to go and park on the street a little bit further down. I was kind of irritated by it because I was trying to get back in time for the live stream. I made it back, but man, it's just add the heat to this, and it's just, I'm zapped. And I'm old. Add old to that too. Add old to the heat, to all that, and I'm just kind of zapped. So that answers what should have been a short answer to your question, turned into a long one. So I apologize. Water Baby says, could be that with the hot weather that electronics get overheated and break down, could be that people need new electronic replacements. But they're buying more than electronics, at least on my end. They're buying all kinds of different stuff. Like the paper towel holders that I'm going to be shipping out tomorrow. I could probably give you a long laundry list of all the kind of items that they're buying. If I go and look here real quick on my screen, I can share with you real quick. Don't you love how slow eBay is? I have a super fast internet connection, and eBay is just slow. I have a wetsuit. I sold a wetsuit for men and women, size medium, a bottle drying rack, a pair of kids' shoes, 2 paper towel holders, a Lego set, Free People button-down shirt with new tags, the Nike Alpha Huarache 6s. Okay, those shipped out yesterday. It scared me. I'm like, oh, gee, okay. So, a lot of things that aren't even electronics. Now, over the weekend, I think I tried to blow out a lot of electronics, but, shower curtains, crystal food storage set, canister sets. So a lot of different things, and it's selling. So Whoop says, one big thing I did that was a game changers allow offers. That weekend was my biggest weekend ever. Over 2K in sales and almost 40 items sold. Yeah, that's awesome. There's nothing better than filling up one of these, I call them Santa bags, because that kind of is what they remind me of. We're talking about, Santa Claus and the big bag that he puts over his shoulder. That's what these USPS bags remind me of. And there's nothing better than having like one or two, or sometimes even three of those full of items to give to your carrier. Now, the little thing I put on Instagram was, I think my mail carrier is going to be pissed off at me today, because the look that they give you when they roll up, waiting, come to your house, and they think they're going to get one or two packages, and you hand them this big old bag, they kind of like they're standoffish, and they're like, well, what do you want me to do with this? And I'm like, well, you guys always pick this up. It's always like this on Monday. And well, I don't have room in my truck. And then they were asking, can we come back? And I'm like, I know you're not coming back. And then you're going to put me in a position where all of these are late. So lately I've just been taking them myself, because we're only going to be at this address for another couple weeks anyway. Let's see. Why Worker says, my sales are up, but I'm really working it, sending offers and trying to post 5 items per week, shipping right away. And you got to work it. You have to. If you just allow your store to be just like the run-of-the-mill store where you set it, forget it, it's that extra effort that's going to get you the extra sales. So you have to keep grinding. My hubby and I just had a receiver go out, had to replace it. Oh, like a stereo receiver. You can go to Goodwill, and you're going to find, and you've already replaced yours, but you can find some that are probably like 3, 4, 5 years old, still in good shape, for like $15-$20, depending on the Goodwill you go to. And Archie, here's a good reminder. Don't forget, buy items that sell. Listing crap equals crap sales. I agree with that 100%. And Archie feels a little slighted. You don't need to tell anyone that. But, here's the thing, Tommy. With Archie, I think he has some good stuff, but nobody knows about it because he won't list it. It's still in his garage. He has some really good stuff in his garage, and it just sits there. I'm just trying to get him to open his museum, at least to the public, so he can make some money off of it. No one designed to. For me, I go by my data I have generated year after year and always keep the cost of goods low. Right now, end of July going into August, my record says sales should start going up, and it has to trust your data. Yeah, I agree. The more, I would love to have that kind of data. I used to actually do it. I stopped. I did it again. And I said, geez, man, there's just like so much time involved. But there's a level of that data I think you really need to keep track of. And, if you're selling 10 items a day, let's say you sell 10 items a day, you take the time to input the sales. It's like you're running your own business, your own store, brick and mortar. You're going to keep track of what inventory you have, like on a daily basis, what's sold. You're going to cash out your register, right? And I think that's something that I need to get back into doing. I do so much. I kind of overextend myself, but I think that's one thing that I really need to start doing a better job of. Life in Progress is in the house. Thanks for hanging with us. We have 87. Trying to get us over the 100 mark would be awesome. While you're at it, guys, hit that like button. I certainly appreciate it. The Monster Loon is in the house. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Archie, this is what Tommy says. Archie, if you could see the amount of people complaining about sales, and when you ask how many they check sell-through rate, they're all befuddled. Yeah, it's just, again, there's people that won't look. They won't look at their numbers. When we talk about traffic reports and traffic, I think there's a number of sellers out there that really just don't understand it. And it's because they don't spend time diving into it. It's just, numbers. And, as long as I'm making a sale here and there, I'm content. But you really need, if you're serious about this, you really need to jump in your stats that eBay is giving. They're giving it right to you. You don't have to do anything, but just go click on your performance tab and dive in and see what your store looks like. Water Baby says, a quick and easy sandwich is to get Costco hot dog buns and mix canned chicken with the bottled barbecue sauce. Just mix and heat. Okay. Maybe the rotisserie chicken that they have, that's a loss leader. Maybe grab that instead. That would be pretty good. But Biff Boffo says, I bought a bunch of inventory this weekend. Can't be afraid to store the summer slowdown in the face and work in the future. Yeah, I did that last year. My goal last year about this time, well, back in July, I think last year, my goal was, I was at 300 items. I've pretty much for the first 2 years of full time, I've kept my store at around 300 items because I was selling things. I couldn't really keep up with the items I was selling. So this last year, I said to myself, I want to get my store double in size. So I spent the summer doing that, got it up to like 600 to 700 items, and had a great Q4. And so while the sales may not be there, by virtue of you building your store, you should get more sales. Now, somebody said on another channel that the idea of you taking, let's say, a 500 item store, adding another 500 items, it is asinine to expect to double your sales. Well, and then he went on to say, if you tend, a lot of people who do this tend to uh, they tend to buy and resell cheap items to get their count up, right? So yeah, if you're doing that, if you're just listing anything just to get a count, if your only goal is to how many items can I build in my store, then yeah, you're not going to get the same, you're not going to be able to double your output. But it's a numbers game with eBay. If you are listing the same or better type of items that you currently have up for sale, um, it's just an obvious numbers game. You're going to get about the same amount of sales for that extra lot of items that you're listing on eBay. Now, there's something to say. There's a lot of different factors involved. What you give eBay on a daily basis is kind of what they're going to give you back. So if you're listing more on a daily basis than you used to, definitely expect to get more sales. I just really think that it's in the algorithm. But my thought is, if you double the size of your store, I'm assuming that it's the same or better type of item that you currently have, and therefore the numbers game, it's just going to happen. And we look at stores like Daily Refinement. Look at them, right? They're selling now they were selling on eBay in a very saturated market, clothing. That's one of the worst things to get involved in my opinion. But if you put up the kind of numbers that him and Tech and Sports put up, you're going to get the sales. You're going to get pushed up in the algorithm. eBay is going to give you that love. And they're pretty much proof of that. They're doing it in a saturated market. So you're doing the right thing, Biff. Keep buying. And I did the same today. I'm going to keep looking for opportunities. If I can find great deals at 5% MSRP, knowing that I'm going to make at bare minimum 30%, I'll be on that all day long. Biscuit Bus says, when I have slow sales is only after I go 3 days without listing or a listing. That's 100% the key to make eBay happy. I'm a firm believer of that. Bling Bling Factor, Australia, 8:19 a.m. Still in bed here. It's winter and pretty chilly. Wow, what I would give right now to have it be winter. I'd love that. I love that. Getting up in the morning and you have that nippy feeling, just cold. You just want to bundle up. I love it. Not so much right now. It's hot here. Water Baby says, got to drain the chicken first. Great on the go for no time, no cook, easy moving. I'm a big time cook. I like to cook. I go out to eat, and sometimes some places I'm like, this is not very good because I compare it to my cooking. I don't know if I could do that. I mean, if I would have to get the rotisserie chicken, like I was telling you, maybe doctor it up with some seasoning, add a little bit of some grilled onions, that kind of thing. For me, that's what I would do. Bling Bling, I have 2 Aussie thrifters and Drew and Sarah's from Look Mum Hustling, great Aussie channel. So go check out those channels, but wait until after the live. I'd appreciate that. Dom says, auctions drive traffic to your store. It's always good to run them. And I'm starting to think that. I never had the correlate. I always thought auctions were just a dying thing, something that one should absolutely really never do unless they're trying to clearance out or clear out their stuff, which is what my intention was. My intention was not at all, let's find a way to boost your sales on your other stuff. Let's just get this stuff out of here. I don't care if I get $10 a piece for it. Clear the shelf, because I want to take that big rack down and get ready to move it. So I just don't want to make extra trips with inventory that is not going to really sell. So I tried to blow it out, and I had a great weekend with my other stuff. So Tommy thinks it's just maybe a coincidence. I'm thinking that I'm going to try it again. And I think there's something to it. And there's no reason why I should have had a good sales weekend. There's none. I mean, if everyone else was having a great sales weekend, then I'm saying, hey, we're out of the summer slump. Here comes the fall. Here comes Q4. We're going to tear it up. But there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, I didn't make nothing this weekend. So what is it? So I'm trying new things. You should try new things as well. Don't take my word that this is gold. It may be wrong, but I'm going to at least tell you about it as well, and you guys can figure it out. If you try it, give it a try. Biscuit Butt says, I'm only one that calls John Daddy. Actually, he wants to call him Big Papa Pump. What? Oh my goodness. And James, that was pretty funny. Time Traveler's Chess says, I got the same haul box and had 3 backpacks, listed them, and kept reducing price down to $10 as of last night. Finally gave them to a friend in need, as I had very little interest and couldn't go lower. Yeah, there's a couple of them that I thought were kind of cool. Like there's a Minnie Mouse, and I think about half of them have like little accessories. So you have the backpack, you have the little lunch deal, you have the little thing for the pencils. And I thought that, yeah, that's kind of cool. It's the right time of year, but a lot of these sellers are giving free shipping. I just can't seem, that's like £2. And if I'm selling it for $19.99, free shipping, eBay takes their cut. I'm getting like $4 or $5. And I just rather just sell it to someone at the yard sale for $4 or $5. Going to have a yard sale not this weekend. It's in 2 weeks. It's on the 13th of August on a Saturday. And like I told people before, I'll be talking about it here when we get closer to that date. Certainly you can send me an email and I will give you all the details as to where to go. Probably going to start like at 7 a.m. and just work it. I'm going to have some good stuff. I'm finding a lot of cool stuff that I'm pulling out of my garage and my closet, and things that I'm really not going to have room for. And I'm also going to have stuff in these lots that I'm picking up that I'm going to put out like in bins. So I'm going to try to have my own little version of like a bin store situation. Hopefully you guys are in the Las Vegas area can take time and come check it out. But that's not this Saturday. It's the following Saturday. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. One busy mama says, we have to remember eBay, Poshmark, Mercari are all beneficial platforms that have eyes on your items that you would not have otherwise, like a yard sale. Great convenience to work and sell. I agree. Let me tell you a little story about Mercari real quick. And honestly, it was one of those things where would turn a lot of people off. And I guess bad buyers aren't just on eBay, right? Well, I had this person. I was selling these. It's a brand new set. It's a third-party Chinese brand set of these memory foam bathroom mats. And they were silver color. I think they sell them on Amazon for like $20, free shipping if you have Prime. And I've had them on eBay for a while. I decided it's one of the items I'm going to put over to Mercari, and it was like at $10. Now, any of you who sell on Mercari know that there's a way that there's an automatic smart pricing that'll lower your price. I don't care. I just want these things gone. I set the price at like $12 plus the cost of shipping. It's like £6 for this set. It's in double box and everything ready to go. And cool. The buyer wants to pay for the label on UPS ground and start off at $12. Well, somehow it got down to $6. I don't know. I don't remember setting it that low, but fine. This lady kept sending me a message saying, you keep sending me the offer, but I don't want to, the shipping's too high. I don't want to pay $18 to ship it. I guess that's what Mercari was trying to charge them to ship this 6-pound package. And I'm like, well, sorry. I said, because you're a liker on this item, I'm just sending an offer. I use that automated tool that Prime Lister gives me, where I can go in and set it like 10, 15, 20%, whatever I want to offer. And it'll go through all my items and send an automated offer to each of these potential people who click the like button on the item. Well, because she still is a liker of that item, she's always going to get a daily offer from me. So she kept sending me a message, shipping's too high, shipping's too high. Then like the 4th time, I love the way these look, but can you make the shipping lower? Why don't you ship it? She said this, why don't you ship it first class or media mail? And I told her, look, you can't ship these. It's too heavy for first class, and you can't ship something that's not media mail. And then eventually, when it got to $6, she accepted the offer. So I shipped it out. And guess what? She received them and she left, and I didn't see the feedback. So that's the thing with Mercari. You can leave a feedback for the buyer that's anywhere from 1 to 5 stars. Well, to get your money, you have to do that. So I just said, I thought it would be fine. I didn't have any problems with her. She left me a rating, and I didn't see the rating just yet. I just left her 5 stars because it is what it is. And I went back and looked at my ratings that night, and I saw she left me 2 stars and said, and she thought I was a woman for some reason, and said, I tried to help her with shipping. She wanted to charge $18 for a 1 to 3 pound item. No. And, she wouldn't respond to any of my messages. And of course I could provide her with a screenshot if she needs it, because I responded to like 4 messages that she sent me over that week-long period. And she had the audacity to do that. Now, when I tried to respond to her and ask her why she left that kind of feedback, she blocked me. So she did a hit and run. She went and hit my account for 2 stars out of 5, and she hit the block button. So she knew I was going to come back and say, what the heck? And she totally blocked me. And I thought, wow, the nerve. You bought my item. You chose to pay the $18, even though I told you I couldn't send it media mail. And you look at her account, look at her seller's account on there, and it says that she helps others on Mercari sell. And it's like, wow, you're teaching people to rip off the system, and yet you're able to leave me a negative. And I couldn't go back and change my feedback, because once you leave it for Mercari, it's locked in. I would have said, look, steer clear of this person. She's kind of crazy. She had no reason to leave me a negative, that's for sure. So I thought you guys might want to know about that story. Tommy says, the 2 Aussie thrifters killing on eBay. They have a warehouse. I'd love to have a warehouse, but I just think right now is not the right time with the market the way it is, and rents in Vegas are going up like crazy. Water Baby says, last Friday we had a power outage, and for most of the day affected the internet. No listing day. Let's hope that doesn't happen here. I think I'd go nuts without the internet. OC Sales Online says, are you penalized if you end an item on eBay if it's sold on another platform? No. You know what I think is kind of funny is you end an item on the PC, it just says whatever, it lets you end it. But when you end it on the app on the phone, it gets up all in your business. It gives you like 10 to 5 reasons, like, well, tell me why you want to cancel this item, and not available for sale or whatever. But it's like, wow, what does it matter? I'm not selling it anymore. Nancy picked up an antique GWTW, I don't know what that means, lamp. It sold within 2 hours for my full asking price. I was delighted. That's awesome. Monster Loon says, my first sale on eBay was an auction, and I made a killing. Most of my other auctions have left me burned. And I still have like 4 people that got the bare bones deal on the auction and they haven't paid yet. And I'm not going to ask them. I'm not going to bug them. If they, after 4 days, don't pay, I'm not sending them an invoice. They're getting a heck of a deal at the bare bones. Callie Deb says, hello, John and everyone. And then BG Sim says, I made a live show. Yeah, that's awesome. We're at 86. No One Design says, hit the like button, guys. If you want to see John clean up the plastic mess behind him. No, I'm not going to clean this up. That comes later. I'm actually in the middle of my workday, and the fact that I didn't go take a nap when I got back is is a win, because that's what I want to do right now. I'm absolutely tired. Eddie says, are you worried about Las Vegas state of emergency? 50 days of clean water left, stage 6 water restrictions. Engineers at Nevada Water Authority have been pumping station, could pump water until 875 feet. Yeah, I am quite bothered by that. There's a channel that I watch. It's Sin City Outdoors, and they're always at the lake and reporting on that. And it's definitely pretty scary. What's going to happen? I don't know. I guess we'll see. If you see me living in California here in the next, few months, even though I have a lease out here, then you know what happened. I tried to escape to my son's house. Art says, most of my sales are from send offers. Finally researching how to sell on Mercari. What can you sell in there? Pretty much anything that, in my opinion, anything between, say, $10 and $25 that you have for sale on eBay tends to go really well over there. And I have a hypothesis about why some items sell better. I think it has a lot to do with drop shippers on eBay, how eBay allows drop shippers on, and for certain categories, certain items, you are dealing with a very saturated market because of that. And it's very difficult, if not impossible, to effectively drop ship on Mercari. So you don't have that type of competition. And so therefore, while there's lower traffic on Mercari, there's less competition for that same item. And that's why they sell. And that's, I'm going to do a video on that, but that's in a nutshell why I think that's the way it is. Bling Factor Australia says no Mercari here in Australia. Ugh. So there's got to be other platforms though that's a little bit better than, say, Bonanza. There's got to be something out there that you guys can list on. Even try going on to Amazon and list on Amazon for items that are not gated. Eddie, he seems calm to me. No one has mentioned water. Maybe another channel is talking water. Well, you know what? It's definitely a concern. I don't know you guys care about, the things that I worry about. I try to, my focus is literally, I may say this on my channel, but I'm so focused on the goals that I have. I take time late at night to watch some of these channels. Yeah, it definitely is bothersome, but not to the point that I'm just going to freak out. I guess it's kind of like that mentality. You can't change what you can't control. So therefore, I'm going to focus on the things that I can control, and everything else, just if it happens, it happens. So No One Design says, meeting up with a buddy at midnight to look at their goods. Yeah, well, that was crazy. That was crazy. And yeah. Biscuit says, I plead the fifth about that midnight deal. Yeah, let's not talk about that, because that turned into one of those shows, the S show, without getting vulgar here. So I try not to curse on this channel because there might be kids watching or within earshot. So it's one of those shows that was, yeah, it was, and it was raining too. So it's like you're out there and dealing with merchandise in the rain. It's not good. Biscuit says that I made it sound suspect. Well, I got to make it interesting, right? That's for sure. Yeah, it says maybe eBay is promoting auctions in the algorithm. Yes, you might be right. It's worth it. Try it. I mean, I might be 100%. I would love for someone to say, John, you're full of that S word again. But wouldn't it be great if, like, in a week, I get a bunch of people saying, wow, I got more sales this weekend, and all I did was run a couple crappy items on auction, and maybe there's something to it. I would like to see. I would like to know. Maybe it's just a coincidence, like Tommy was saying, but I don't know. I mean, results speak for themselves. I can guess all I want, but if I keep doing that weird thing that keeps allowing sales to happen on stuff that's been sitting for a while, then how can you say it's wrong? So Biscuit Butt says, Eddie, I've lived in Vegas 26 years. We've never had clean water. Yeah, there's radiation or something in the water, they say. They used to do all these radioactive tests back in the 50s or whatever, out like 30 miles out of town, and I'm sure that affects the water in some way, shape, or form. Tommy says, auctions can only be seen in 11 of 20 search results. They share those 11 spots with new listings and organic. Definitely not promoting them. But it's not the auctions. because I had 2/3 of my auctions didn't get a bid on stuff that was like worth well more than the $9.99 I was trying to start them off at. So it's not so much the auctions, like that hot dog, right? Costco can sell that hot dog for probably $2.50 to $3, but they still sell it with a drink for like, what is it, $1.99, $1.50, whatever it is, knowing that they're losing every time, but they know that they just drug you into, it's like when you go to Costco, it's like crack, right? You go and you start picking up stuff and put in your cart that you had no intention on buying, but oh, it looks so good. And they know that. So they're willing to take a loss on the hot dog because they're bringing you in. Now, I'm not saying that people through the auction process is looking at my store. I think there's something in the algorithm. Remember, eBay is still an auction site. There's a lot of people who sell on auction. Some stores sell just on auction only. I really think that eBay has like a hidden boost in the algorithm if you're running an auction. That's just based on 1 week of results. I'm going to do it again next weekend. I'll tell you how it is. I might be like, Tommy thinks I'm wrong. I think there's something to it. I might be wrong. I'm open to the fact that I'm wrong. I'm cool with that. And we got Mr. Mike Camparelli. Thanks, man. I appreciate the super chat. Hi, John. I love your channel. I watch 4 or 5 of your YouTubers regularly, and yours is always the first one I tune into. Sincere, sensible advice always. Thank you. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. And you know, it's funny. I've actually seen a lot of your comments, and I really, really appreciate you. You know, we got a lot of very, very cool people that watch this program, but it's the consistent ones that come and hang out and leave comments on the channels, leave word on the videos, leave words of encouragement like you do. And thank you so much for that in the super chat. I certainly appreciate it. I always appreciate the support. And I'm over an hour and 20, but you know what? I'm having a good time. I'm kind of tired, but we're at 93 people. So if you guys want to keep going for a little longer, I'll try to get to some of your questions and comments here. Ricardo says, and I'm actually like 40 minutes behind you guys, so I apologize. Greetings, John, from sunny and muggy Orange County. So Ricardo's in the house. Thank you. Dom says, it sounds like you ran your auctions kind of poorly, start at 99 cents and run them for a week. But did I? I ran them for a week. I started them off at $9.99 because my thought was this. A lot of these items are larger items. And if I started them off at 99 cents plus the cost of shipping, maybe some of these items are going to be $15, $20, $25 a ship. Let's say they get the one bid, 99 cents. So they're going to pay me, say, $25.99. Well, that label is going to cost me $25. I'm going to get hit with fees, maybe upwards of 13, 14% off of the entire thing. And I'm going to lose. I'd be better taking that item, throwing it straight in the trash can, and just moving on. And less chance of a negative feedback. The trash can ain't going to give me a negative feedback. That buyer who had high hopes of it being something more than what it was, now wanting to return it or saying that they want to shake me down for, half their money back, even though most of it went for shipping. I just don't see the logic of 99-cent auctions on big items, because you run the risk of getting burned. On small items, free shipping, you're not going to get killed. But that's my mindset behind it. But guess what? 2/3 of the items didn't sell. That's fine. I still got to deal with them. But I still had a great sales weekend, and that's all that matters. So I'm going to try it again on not as many. I think I had like 30 some odd items up for auction. Not going to do it again like that. I'm going to do something a lot simpler, maybe a handful of items, and see what happens the rest of my sales. Lady Luck Junk says, hello, my son Davis just started working with me. We are listing, and he is why you playing this video. Give him your best new corner nugget. My best new corner nugget? Comer nugget. I don't know what that is. If you're looking for my best bit of advice, is be consistent. So what you're doing right now, if you're listing right now, you guys should have a daily session where you guys just sit and list. Do that every day. If you want to take a day off, list extra throughout the week and save them as drafts That way you can launch the drafts through your smartphone or launch them at home before you go somewhere and just enjoy your days off. That's my best bit of advice, and eBay will love you back for it. I promise you that. Bubbles, blings, and needful things. I sold a crystal figurine of a shoemaker, had forgotten about it. Darndest thing, who sits down going, I need a glass shoemaker? People that have other ones, people that think, I like that one better. I want that to go right next to the ones that I have here. You'll be surprised. I mean, I thought the same thing of these patches. I don't want to call them stupid patches. I think they're kind of cool, but where do these people come from? I mean, out of the blue, you get a lot of people that just jump on them. It's like going fishing, right? You throw a random lure in the water and here comes all these fish. And it's like, okay, well, why weren't you jumping at the other lures I was throwing in? It's a bad fishing analogy, I know, but it's like, where are these people coming from? And these aren't that special, but they're buying them. So, if you have more, go figure. Tony is from Birmingham, England. So, hey, thank you for hanging out with us today. I certainly appreciate that. Probably a little late for you where you're at, but thank you for hanging out with us. Biff says, nobody ever 10 years old should eat ketchup on a hot dog. Nobody, I don't care how old you are. And keep the pineapple off the pizza. That's a big debate that I have with Jenna. We have this pizza place by the house that we like, and they put like everything on it. They put, it's like one of those everything on it pizzas, but they have like sausage, pepperoni, green peppers, ground beef, right? And she's like, I don't want that on my half. Take off the ground beef, add pineapple. I'm like, well, why ground beef? It doesn't seem like a thing that should be it's a good pizza. So I don't understand why no ground beef, but it is what it is. We always debate on little things like that, but that's what married couples do. Dom says 66% of my gross is through auctions this year, 70%. Okay, so it's a little bit down this year as compared to the previous years. Ricardo says, how are your overall sales for 2022? Don't give up and keep the good battle. Yeah, I'd say if you looked at the first 5 months of the year, it was pretty sad. But what I was able to source was pretty sad. Finding better opportunities now, and it's been okay. Especially this last month has been a lot better than it was. Tommy says, traffic rotation. Not all items are shown at once ever. Some items never seem to make rotation until an end relist. eBay service cannot handle showing more than a fraction of items. Yeah, you do a simple search on a shirt or something, and you'll see without looking at the sold, just look at the ones up for sale. And if you look at that number on the upper left corner, it's probably a huge number. And if you run that search over and over, you'll see different items popping up within that first page. It's just the way they do it. I don't know how they do it, but it's kind of crazy. Let's see. Crafty Girl says 100% on hot dog and pizza. Yeah, their pizza is good too. But yeah, hot dog and pizza is actually pretty good. And I'm not really a hot dog eater, but definitely they have some pretty good hot dogs. Ricardo says, I love the scan sheet. One scanned by the mail carrier and everything is quickly scanned, is picked up. Well, they love it because they get an easy scan. I don't give them that. They just go and scan all my items. It is what it is. I haven't had anyone complain. And even the days where they pick up a lot, they don't complain. I've had a couple ask, but I tell them I ship from different sites and I don't have that sheet. Biscuit Butt says, I'm sensing a disputed episode of Reselling between John and Tommy. No, because this is about sharing ideas, and that's all it is an idea. You may go lay down tonight and have a dream about if you did this differently on eBay, it could spark up sales, and then you tried it and it happened. You might think that you found the next hack or trick, and it was not even intentional. I was just trying to really blow out items without getting ripped off at the 99-cent rate. So I started off at $9.99, and I didn't do so well on the auctions, but my other fixed price items did. And I'm thinking there's nothing special in my store. I didn't add anything special in my store. A lot of items that have been sitting there for months started selling. So what's that about? What gave those items the boost that wasn't there before? And when that happens, you got to start looking at, well, what have I done differently? And when I look at what I've done differently, it is the idea that I've added auctions to the mix. And Tommy says auctions are listings. You put up more listings than normal by the sounds of, I'm not mistaken, the increase in listings create the traffic. Right. So my traffic, those listings ended yesterday. I have one auction that I mistakenly listed for 7 days that ends tomorrow. Why am I still getting a boost today? Those items are gone. Those items ended. I have less items in my store now than I did a week ago. I'm going through and relisting some of these items as fixed items that didn't sell. But other than that, I'm still listing the same number of items per day. Yesterday I did. Today I did. Why am I killing it today in sales? I'm up to almost 500 in sales today. I don't know. Maybe that one auction that's boosting my store. I don't know. Just a thought though. No One Design says, here's a bolo item, maybe toddler's backpack, ages 3 to 5. The past 2 weeks sold 180 of them. Cat and Jack brand, ASP, shipping $11.88, $5.99. My cost of goods 79 cents. So you $11.88 shipping, $5.99 is the price. That's a lot of work though for $4. And then you have $11.88 plus $5.99. eBay's taken, I don't know what you're promoting it at, but eBay's taken at least 13, 14% plus any promoted rates, and you have $3 in your pocket. So if you have, now here's the good, you said you have 180 of them. So there's nothing wrong with that. If you have a bunch of them, then you just have one listing and just let it knock itself out, and you're pocketing $3, $4 a pop. I'm good with that. But if it's one or two handful, that's what I got in the garage, and I'm just going to sell them on the yard sale that I have, or garage sale. One busy mama likes wasabi on a hot dog. That's like horseradish. I don't like that either. It's just like eating a chemical. It's just pretty nasty. But to each his own. B&G Sims, is anyone having trouble leaving feedback? I haven't been able to for a week now. The page jumps all over the place. No, I have mine set to automated once the buyer leaves theirs. So and that's when they leave a positive feedback, it automatically leaves one. Tony says, eBay UK have pretty much ruined me. I've been hit with 3 suspensions in 1 month. Wow. You just got to wait it out, I guess. At least you're not permanently banned. Tommy says, even with great items, I'm still capped by eBay like everyone's account is. I could put every shoe with 100% throw sell-free rate at 99 cents, but now and then they would not sell it because eBay would still limit it. I think there's something to that. I definitely do. If you go in and say, okay, I'm going to put every item in my store at 99 cents plus shipping, fixed price, I don't think they all sell that day. I think that they would be putting their sellers in a bad position to maybe not be able to fulfill all those orders and thus create a negative buying experience. Ricardo says the stores have too much inventory. Be on the lookout for better pallets soon. But what happens is that's going to hurt our sales in the long run. Just the saturated market in the stores, they liquidate that, and we have it all on eBay, and we're back in the same boat. Mike wants to know if I was a Raiders fan before they went to Vegas. 100%. 1981 Super Bowl. Watching the Super Bowl with my dad against the Eagles. And I like the Eagles uniforms. I kind of had that cool green, but I thought the Raiders uniforms were just sick. And I said, okay. And when I was a kid, my dad was a Chargers fan. And I decided that I wanted to be a Raiders fan because he liked the Chargers. And also I became a Lakers fan because he liked the Celtics and they had that rival. Now, for whatever reason, I didn't become a Dodgers fan because he liked the Angels. I guess I sided with him on one of the teams. But yeah, a Raiders fan since way back when, and that's once I saw the Super Bowl, I was sold. Ricardo says, thank you, John. I just had the double cha-ching while listening to the live stream and packaging. Oh, awesome. I'm glad I can help someone out with sales. I had a payment. I don't know if that counts since we started. So hopefully we can, it seems like the sales seem to happen overnight. I send a bunch of offers out, offers to watchers, and then I wake up in the morning with a bunch of sales. Jane says, can you please explain the pallet food chain in short, meaning box store liquidation to truckload to smaller liquidator to me? Who could buy pallets from box stores and truckload? Well, anyone could buy a truckload, but you're not buying them directly from Amazon. You're not buying them directly from Walmart. You're not doing any of that. There's only certain select companies that have contracts. You have to have millions of dollars invested to be able to even get your foot in the door on something like that. But you can buy truckloads from these places, the middlemen. The problem is the middlemen have become wise to the fact that there's resellers out there, and they start to cherry pick, and then they lot what they don't want in these truckloads. So you don't get organic returns like you used to. And that's kind of the thing. So there's usually, and it could be that you have, let's say, Amazon, they have people that buy just truckloads upon truckloads, send it to their warehouse, and then they sell that truckload or multiple truckloads to another entity, and then they get on the market, start selling pallets out of these truckloads. So it could go through multiple hands before it gets to you. So that's kind of how it works. And ask me more questions, later. I'll be able to try to answer them for you. Hey, John, that list you just read off, everyday items, like I always say, everyday items sell well and sell year round. I think so too. And Tommy says, Archie likes to admire his items. Yes. Ask him about his hand sanitizer. Anyone in Vegas that needs hand sanitizer, I know someone with a great deal for you. Probably give it to you for free if you stop by his house. That's how much he has. So Whoop says, do you think there are items that might bring your morals into questions, like Bibles? No, I don't think I'd sell. Well, here's the thing. I've had some adult toys in some of these Amazon returns, and I don't sell those. I mean, I just don't. I just think it's just kind of, I'm not comfortable with it. But I will send them to friends as a joke. I did that a couple times to a friend out in California, and I thought that was kind of funny. He thought it was hilarious. So yeah, no, for the most part, if it makes money, I'm not against Bibles. I love Bibles. If it makes money, if it has value, and there's some old Bibles out there, if you're a collector, that would probably bring in quite a bit of money, I'm all for it. Sarah says, hey there, new sub, found you on Mercari, the FedEx messages. Yes, just saw you where you live and happen on. Yeah, so we're talking about, I think I send you an offer, and you're asking about FedEx or something like that. And I'm like, okay, this is the second time where I've had somebody that has kind of given me like advice, or like said, hey, you might want to check into this. And it ended up being someone who's watched the channel. I just went on a limb and said, hey, you haven't happened to watch my channel? Like, yeah. So it's like, okay. So I thought that was up, but Sarah didn't see my channel, but now she has. So, hey, I guess that's how you get new subs on YouTube, is just talk to your customers. So nice to have you on board. Thanks for hanging out with us. Tommy says, John, your items change a lot, it seems. Probably hard to get good projections. Being a niche makes it extremely easy to predict sales. And you're right. Because I'm open to selling pretty much everything, right? I could get really good stuff one month and just a bunch of stuff I think is garbage the next, but I still try to sell it anyway. And it's definitely tough. And it's really tough to really keep your ASP, your average sale price, up when you're selling stuff that is just random, because one month you're going to get good stuff, and the next you're going to just have to try to make good do with the $15, $20 items. Semperfi says, just finished my eBay listings promotion, now letting eBay do its algorithm. Yeah, you just gotta, and even then, I think there's so many things you can do. I could probably get up in the morning and just find multiple things to do to my account over and above what I already do. And I just won't have enough time in the day to do it. Sarah says, last week of July, I doubled the sales I did in the first 3 weeks of the month. And I don't know if it's July that's doing it, because my sales went up in July, but I think my sales really went up when I started going over to Mercari and adding a lot of my items from eBay to Mercari. Let's see. Dom says, Tommy, I was listing auctions at Buy It Nows at the same rate from January to April. Auctions always outpace Buy It Now for me in gross and net. Thousands of listings in both listings type. I just think there's something to it. Maybe just put up a hand. If anyone out there is willing just to try it, if anything, do it to try to prove me wrong. And it's not because I feel like I need to be proved wrong on this. I just want to know. I'm just one person with a limited a limited, like for instance, if some new disease came out, right? And they said, okay, we're going to test this new vaccine on one person, and we're going to decide what we do for the rest of the country because of this one test. I don't think you guys would trust it. And I don't want to get into the whole, I shouldn't even said the V word. I'm probably going to get dinged by YouTube. I think that's one of the words you can't say. But I guess I'm the king of bad analogies. I'm just one example. I'm one sample on a small sample size. There's millions of listings on eBay, and it just might have been the luck. I had a good luck that weekend. May have been a lot of viewers jumped onto my eBay store and felt sorry for me and bought a bunch of things. It could have been that. But if you guys want to take the time and try it out, certainly would like to know your feedback. If you could try that out and then come back onto this video and comment down below. I'd like to know how it worked out for you. Let's see. Let me kind of try to get here to some of your questions. I'm way behind you guys. Tommy says we're going to need tinfoil hats soon. Archie, do you have a stockpile? No, he has. You know, we talk about the idea. I think another channel said there's no such thing as a death pile until you get to Archie's house. But I really joke about that. But I think that channel had said something, and I think, Tommy, you were on that video, that live stream. There's no, stop thinking of it as a death pile. Well, I think a death pile, the difference between a death pile and a stockpile or back stock is when you make a bad buy, or you're buying something that you just for the life of you don't have any interest in listing, and that keeps you from listing it, and it never gets listed as a result. And I think that's what a death pile is, in my opinion. Just try to see if I have any questions here, because we are at an hour and 40 minutes. Jason Neal says, close chat, hit like button, open chat. You're awesome. Thank you for that. Hit that like button. I certainly appreciate it, guys. Let's see. Tommy says, Dom, I have quite a few friends on there. The ones killing cards, kill it. That's on Whatnot. And I have Whatnot as well. Never put my items on Whatnot because I've heard a lot of feedback that it's good to blow out items, but it's not you're not going to make a whole lot of money there. It may be somewhere I go with these patches and pins once I get down to where I'm done. I can't find, because there's a lot of them I can't even find comps for. I might put those on Whatnot and just see if I can move them that way. Jason says, anyone having problems with shipping due to weather? What area? I would expect extended shipping times in Kentucky and Vegas, but don't count on it. Vegas isn't bad. I'm in Vegas. See, the thing with Vegas is it's like a bowl, and they put the strip like at the bottom of that bowl, and that's where the water goes. So unless you're at the strip, which most people who live in Vegas aren't there, we're above the strip area, we're not going to get the flooding that they had. It'll get kind of bad, but it'll just go downhill down to the strip. So you see all those videos of the new casino Circa getting like inundated with water, and that's because they're down at the bottom of all it. That's where all the water collects. So that's why it just seems like we're getting hit. Kentucky is the one that's really getting it, not us. So nothing here. But we've had times where eBay, it was obvious that eBay had to know that there was problems with shipping, with whatever, with storms or whatever it was, and they still didn't extend shipping times, and it took them weeks to finally get on board. So I wouldn't doubt it if you saw nothing come out as a result of what's going on in Kentucky with all the flooding. Tommy says death pile means you will die before you list it, right? And or throw it out, right? And I got to tell you, for whatever reason, Archie is sitting on a death pile of sanitizer, and the man will not get rid of it. I don't know why, but that to me would be the first item in the large item pickup. Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to throw you under the bus like that, but you're a good sport, so I thought I'd say that. It's got to do some of that sanitizer, man. Just got to bring it to the yard sale and lot it, like put it in lots of like 20 for $1 and just get rid of it or something. The Poke Shop Toys says, I picked up like 1,000 bottles of sanitizer for about, was it 50 cents a bottle? And been selling them for like $3 plus shipping. But I know that eBay has made it so you can't even sell sanitizer unless you were pre-approved before the pandemic. And if you go try to sell it, it'll give you that error message saying that you're not allowed to sell due to like price gouging or whatever. So if you can sell it, definitely sell it that way. I just don't think that, 5 cents, 5 cents. He says 5 cents. So yeah, that's pretty cheap. But I think Archie's got his even probably could, I think he picked his up lower than that. He got boxes and boxes of that stuff. No One Design says piles are just piles. What makes a stockpile is when you look at it and see money signs, that's a stockpile. When you see a pile and get scared, that's a death pile. Yeah. And there's a lot of times I'll get just bad stuff and I'll go out and look at it and I'll go, oh my God, right? That's a death pile, especially when it sits because you have no motivation to sell it. That's to me the definition of a death pile. But I gotta say, we're an hour and 45 minutes in, and I think between me being tired and that and the fact that I think I've caught up to your comments, I think we want to end it there. But guys, I don't care if you try it or not. Honestly, it's up to you. Take 3 of your worst items, throw it on auction, over a 7-day period, and see how it. Forget about those items. Just see how it affects your regular sales. See if you get any more sales than normal. Um, I'd like to know if I'm right or wrong. I'm going to keep trying it. If you find something, stumble across something, and it works, I mean, you got to keep doing it, right? I mean, it only makes sense. Whether it's tinfoil or not, I'm going to keep trying it. And what works for me may not work for Tommy. What works for Tommy may not work for my items, and it could be a lot of what we're selling too. The type of item that we're selling could be affected or not affected. But you know what? The mystery of eBay and trying to solve, the algorithm and how to drive more sales, it's all just another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent start to your week. You'll hear from me very soon. And probably in the next day or two, I'll have another video out. But until then, you guys have a great week. Keep your heads up, stay motivated, and keep making those sales. So have a great week, guys.